This is awkward. You're expecting a bard, or at the very least a storyteller of merit. Instead, you get a thief. If it's any consolation, I am a damned good thief. Or I was. But you see, I've made a mistake. I've stolen something that needs tending. I have stolen something that without my intervention will surely die. I've stolen a story. My name is Vanda, and for the very first time in my life, I mean to tell the truth. The truth of the five. Don't expect flowery language or poignant metaphor. I am not some god's damned bard. But in a realm forgotten, you will remember them. You will remember the five. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another Monday here on Tales from the Grim. We're going to do a little Realms Remembered, but tonight, my friends, tonight it is going to be a little something different, a little something special, a little something sinister. We have Ulfsark, played by Billy, one-on-one against the evil that is threatening beloved NPC Cal Finnegan. The name of this episode is First Blood. Much like the movie from the 80s, Billy will be channeling his best John Rambo to make it through the wilderness in record time to find Cal Finnegan, holder of the second of two sending stones. Ulfsark has the other. But that is then. Right now is now. Why are we here? Play some D&D. How can we be here? We have fantastic sponsors. Everybody, Roll20 is our virtual tabletop of choice. You will be seeing some of its elements and assets later on in this lovely adventure, if we make it that far. And I would like to let you know that if you have your adventuring party spread to all points of the globe, fear not, because now you can bring the table to them. You can all sit around it virtually, tell your tales, continue old campaigns, start fresh ones. Now is the time to get back into the imagination of your earlier years. I know I did, and I am the better for it. But stories are coming. How can you help, Legion? Well, as we all know here, the Legion, myself, and of course my fantastic players are all part of a collective narrative, a tale told by many around a campfire. So, the easiest way is to retweet our going live tweet. If we get to 20 retweets, Billy will get a natural 20. If we get to 30, another natural 20. If we get to 40, Billy will get the benefits of a short rest, which include the ability to use hit dice, even if it's in between rounds of combat. So, with that being said, help as best you can, spread the word across all of the internets that we have a lone adventurer fighting against evil, That is a tale that needs to be told. Now, if you would like to directly influence, either by making it more challenging or by helping Billy out, look straight down. You can see that there are some donations that can be used to help either hinder, help, or anything in between the narrative as it begins to play out. But if this is your first time joining us, welcome. What do you need to know for this adventure? Not a lot. Somebody is in trouble. Somebody is in desperate trouble. They are wounded. They are helpless. We have a lone hero, Ulfsark, who is broken away from his group, volunteered to go through a sizable force to get to this downed NPC. That's the story. The story is survival. The story is time. Time is always the greatest enemy of all, but when somebody is wounded and hurt and scared, time can be the end. Mighty enemies for a lone warrior. But my friends, we have the best. And so let's bring the best in as I introduce our player for tonight. Billy, my friend, how are you? And are you ready to do what you do best?
Yeah, there's not another option. So the answer is yes.
All right, my friend. So, as we begin, you have just broken away from the group. You are riding down through the and Roberts has just sent you plot armor and advantage. So from the beyond, Roberts is helping you. That'll pop you up one more. That swath that had been created from the battle with the whirling chupacabras up to the mouth of the Box Canyon, you are riding down through that. What I need you to do right now for me, as time begins to speed past, as the minutes become quarter hours, half, 3/4 hours, I want you to make an animal handling check as you are riding this horse at full gallop, I assume. If you want to do it differently, let me know. But if you are trying to make maximum time, that's what I'm going to go with. So
I'm gonna advantage on this animal handling.
Okay.
Yikes.
So as we are off to a start, it just so happens that while the path and the swath that had been created through these two areas had been pretty much trampled down, the bigger problem is that it also concealed some fallen roots and some things that weren't necessarily visible to the naked eye. And so as the horse kind of creeps and pushes down through this area, it catches just for a second. That single hoof drags for a moment. It doesn't slip a shoe, but it comes close, and you can feel a weakness in that front left side as the horse kind of favors. It's still maintaining its gallop, but it's got a distinct grab to one side of it. What I'd like you to do is, this accounts for our first hour. Roll me another animal handling as you turn and enter into the road proper, headed in the direction that you know Cal Finnegan took.
Okay, I'll use advantage on this one as well. Bring me down to 7.
Sounds good. That definitely makes up for it. As crazy things are coming in here. 4 advantages have come in from Tuatha, Hawkeye. Another 2 advantages have come in from Brother James. So 6 more advantages for you, my friend, which takes your total to 13.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Give me a second to put some thank yous in chat.
You go right ahead. And
All right.
as the ride continues, this time along a road proper, you can feel that whatever it was that had injured the horse, whatever had gathered or kind of taken some strength from that left front leg, the horse is able to shake it out. It must have been a cramp or something that had just stoved it for a second, but maybe the movement, the continued gallop. But at this time, having run for this long, the horse is beginning to lather as it is really putting forth effort. Now, you're making it incredible time, but again, you're traveling down the main road, and I'd like you to roll me a perception check with advantage without having to use one.
24.
You lift over a small rise, the horse, and as it comes up over the small rise, you, a head taller than the horse you ride, between the ears of the horse, you see a camp, a very familiar camp with the Cormyrean standards kind of lazily blowing in the wind. It is the camp that was broken off from the host that followed you up to the Box Canyon. These are the wounded, but they seem to have sentries out. There is life here as they are moving around. It is about mid-afternoon now, but they are going to see you unless you want to do something.
Yes, I'm going to. How gauging the distance back? How far am I away from the bend at this point in the ride?
About half a day.
Half a day. Okay.
Now that's half a day traveling at an easy pace. The pace that you're currently keeping, this breakneck pace, you could probably third that time. But again, you're not sure what that will do to your horse because Ulfsark isn't a very experienced rider. You know what your body can do. You're unsure of just how fit this horse is, though.
Yes. Also, with primeval awareness, animals see me as a kindred spirit, so there's a way that they and I can communicate. In terms of expression, I may not be able to ride horses, but if a horse is an animal, I can, gauge, and they can gauge my emotions as well. If that works. So I will ride my horse at a much calmer pace, approaching this camp. Within plain view, nothing to hide.
As you ride up, you see a familiar figure, Wave Child, the blue-skinned magician. You perhaps a Triton. You're not exactly sure, but she approaches from the group, flanked by two of the. They seem to be able. They're probably wounded in some respect, but they are outfitted in their armor, and they come forward and they don't stop you, but they recognize you. They don't bar the path, but they raise their hands, a look of concern on their face.
Hello.
Wave Child moves forward. What is wrong? The princess, the prince, is everything okay?
I believe so. When I left, everything was fine. They were talking. I do believe that they might have gotten into the prince and the princess. That got into an argument, perhaps. I did seemed a little rocky. I tried to see if I could help, but they did not like my offer for assistance, or at least Bowden did not. But you know what I mean.
They all seem to be kind of flitting back and forth at your words. The guards, and not necessarily Wave Child, at the mention of an argument and Bowden being a specific way, they kind of side eye one another, but hold their tongues as only good soldiers can. But
Is that something that happens often?
roll persuasion check.
I'm gonna use advantage on this one. Use them while you got them. 17.
The guards say nothing. They don't break ranks to engage in pleasantries, though they seem pleasant. But Wave Child says, it is the purview of their majesties to have independent minds. Sometimes those thoughts conflict, as do we all. They are only mortals.
I agree. Sometimes the best intentions can lead to the worst consequences.
May we ask where you are going? Do you need something from us?
Oh, if you could if you have the spare supplies, my horse here could use some drink, maybe some food if you have some available, and maybe about 10 to 15 minutes, and I will be on my way.
Where are you heading?
I am heading to Baldur's Gate.
Roll a deception check.
Advantage.
Sure thing.
17.
Wavechild nods. That is where we will eventually reach, is Baldur's Gate. I wish that we could help. I have no one to send with you. I have no orders but to hold fast. I can surely water and feed your horse, though. Would you like to stay the evening with us?
Unfortunately, I cannot. The group that I travel with is one that I enjoy to be around until I get the message and duty calls. So, I can imagine you can understand that as the life that you live as a soldier?
Advisor.
Advisor, yes. So you are beholden to Bowden, Maggie,
I am
both of them?
here of my own free will. I advise. I am not beholden to any.
Do you, how long have you been advising them?
A little over a year.
I can imagine if you're here by your own free will, then it is something you enjoy.
The princess is a good friend.
What about Bowden?
He has strong opinions.
Yeah, it is not necessarily a bad thing, but in the event that you disagree with him, I can see how that would be problematic.
Oh, I never disagree.
Now, do you take orders, or how does your position work?
I advise, offer suggestions, they take or deny those suggestions, and they provide me with the same courtesy. They suggest a course of action for me, I agree or I do not.
That seems like a pretty good situation you've got there. What about the rest of the men? And women, and everybody else in the armor clads?
They are soldiers or they are retainers. They are here to fulfill an oath, either to the royal family or to their military service.
I can't imagine you've seen anybody else come this way, have you?
Just our people.
Okay, that sounds good. Are you hungry? Do you want anything to eat? Are you guys doing okay?
We're fine, thank you. Wolfsark, the something in your satchel begins to vibrate.
Oh, pardon me for a moment. I'm going to go use the tree to pee on.
Oh, okay. I'll have someone take care of your horse.
Oh, I appreciate it. And then Ulfsic's gonna walk a solid 50, 60 beyond hearing distance away and make it look like he's peeing, and then pick up the stone. The telestone.
As soon as you bring it up to your ear and kind of create the activation, you hear
Cal, is this Cal?
Yes. Wolfsark, is that you?
It is me. How, are you? Tell me, what is going on?
I tried to climb a tree like they said, but my hands are really cold, and I fell.
Are you bleeding? Is anything broken?
I think I busted my arm. My side. I can't get the arrow out.
Okay. Is there anyone else around you, or are you by yourself?
I keep hearing things. I think they're looking for me.
I need you to stay quiet. I'm coming to you. I'll be there as fast as I can.
How far away are you?
Not far. Keep quiet. Did you pee on the thing like I told you?
I tried. I can't. I'm too scared.
Okay. It is going to sound a little dirty, but can you pee right now?
Try, but don't tell the others. I'm really scared.
I know, and I'm here for you. I need something to be able to find you, and the smell of your urine will be able to get me to you faster.
Will you do me? Will you promise me something?
What do you want?
If you see Flower on the way, try to help her.
Well, stay quiet. And what I want you to do is every 20 minutes, let's make it 10. Every 10 minutes, turn on the stone. Just breathe gently into it for about 5 seconds and then stop. Do you understand me?
Yeah, I can do that.
Every 10 minutes. You don't need to do it exactly right, but it'll help me find you, okay?
Okay.
Did you get a good look at them?
There's more than one. I know there's more than one. Be careful.
How many did you see?
I just saw the one that came out of the sun. That's the one that shot me.
Came out of the sun?
They were riding from the sun this morning. The sun was still low.
Okay. Excellent. So thank you very much. Now stay quiet, stay safe, cover yourself up with twigs and leaves and dirt.
My hands are cold. Is that bad?
No, you just haven't gotten a lot of strength training recently.
Okay. Roll persuasion check.
All right. Definitely using advantage on this one. 19.
Okay. I'm not gonna worry then. I'm just
stay calm.
You can hear like the soft movement of like leaves and branches. You can feel it pulling. You can hear him kind of pulling and doing what you're telling. He's covering himself in foliage.
Slow your breathing down. Don't use any resources that you don't have to.
Okay.
Everything is going to be okay.
I'm in a dry wash. It's about 15 feet. I fell down. If you find me, that's where I am. I'm in a riverbed, a dry wash.
Okay, I will be there soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, how many times are you going to, how many minutes apart are you going to contact me?
10.
Good. I'll be there soon.
Okay. Thank you. God bless you.
And then I'm going to walk back to the horse. How is the feeding and the watering going?
You've been riding this horse hard. It's lathered, and are you sure you don't want to rest a little longer? We could take the saddle off and give it some air.
We could do that, but unfortunately, I am on call for a very important job, and I just got the message that I have to be there as soon as I can. So, trying to take care of this horse, I can do that, but I can do that later. I know its limits.
Okay. Very, very well. Um, well, perhaps we will see you in Baldur's Gate then.
I sure do hope so. I would love to share some pipe smoke with you.
Um, I don't. I would. I would love to sit with you and chat while you enjoy your pipe.
Mhm. I don't um I don't suppose that I could trouble you. Perhaps if you were so concerned about this horse getting some rest, if you want to trade it out for another one, that is something I could be interested in doing. Perhaps a barter, but I kind of like this one as it is.
Um, we could. I could have the. And she starts to wave for the quartermaster to examine the horse and kind of see. It'll just take a few moments.
Are
But
you sure you don't want something to eat while we're waiting? I have. Are you a fan of mushrooms?
they're good. Yes.
I've been cultivating some myself. I'm a little bit of a, some would call it a fun guy. Anyways,
She
uh,
genuinely laughs.
you could take a bite out of this. It's a little bitter at first, but uh, you'll feel a little better after. I've quite enjoyed them. And wants to extend a boom shroom in
Uh,
her
sh-
direction.
she takes it and looks at it, takes a bite out of it, and then pops the whole thing in her mouth and swallows. Very tasty. There is magic in this.
There's something I like to call a little love. I like to grow things, and caring about things costs a little. So every little thing I grow has a little bit of my love inside of it.
Roll a persuasion check here.
Advantage. I'm just doing it.
Sure.
12.
It doesn't hurt anything. She looks at you. Yes, yes. A little of yourself. And I believe we have 20 retweets, my friend, if chat is to be believed. These tricksters. You get a natural 20, my friend, to use when you would like it.
Excelente. Um. Okay, so about is how long do we have to wait for the horse?
The quartermaster looks over the horse, and because it is a fresh horse, with the exception of just being tired, they quickly switch out the saddle. The whole process takes about 15 minutes to get everything switched over. Your riding and bridle and everything kind of moved from the horse that you were on to a another horse, same type. It's not a war horse or anything. It's just a regular riding horse. But there you are. If and we've put some papers into your saddlebags in case they question about the Cormyrian brand, but it'll give you a free passage. No one will believe that you have taken the horse without our say-so.
I know what happens to a horse thief. I appreciate the papers, and I sincerely hope to see you again.
I believe we will. I look forward to it. Pipe smoke and all.
Hooray. And then he's going to move up, touch the horse, kind of establish a very brief relationship with it, and then mount.
Roll me animal handling just to say.
8.
The horse does one of those, like, equine side eyes as it looks as you approach and touch it, and it has that lip movement that depicts a potential bite is incoming, but it thinks better of it and just kind of, with a half-ass expression on its full horse face, it looks forward.
In the saddle, Wolfie will put a hand on its shoulder and put his face really close to its mane. It's okay, friend. We're going to get some work out of you. Let us ride. Let me know if there's anything that you need.
As you jump up and take off, I'm assuming you're going to continue at the same, once you're out of eye shot, continue the same pace that you had before.
Correct.
Roll me an animal handling as soon as you clear the camp.
All right, this one's advantage. 13.
Okay, the horse is following your commands. You can feel the hesitation in it, though. It's almost like a car that you have that you drop the gas pedal to the floor. It waits a good 2 or 3 seconds before it activates actual propulsion, making intersections extremely fun. And by we all have had that car, and so this is the horse equivalent. This is the 1 HP, 1 horsepower equivalent of that car that just doesn't seem to have the gas pedal that works right. So yeah, you're able to ride off as dusk is approaching, and every 10 minutes or thereabout, you feel the vibrating in your satchel or your pocket or whatever pouch you're carrying the stone in. But then you hear the satchel begin to buzz and buzz and buzz and buzz, and this is just as the sun dips below. You figure that the time that you're making, you have got to be within an hour or two of where you kind of estimate his position.
Okay. I'm gonna take the stone out, pick up the stone. Hello, hello.
Oh, Shark.
How are you? I'll be there soon.
I think I'm gonna fall asleep.
No, you can't do that. You can't. I'll tell you why you can't. Because I have something very important for you to do.
What's that?
Do you like magic?
Of course.
Do you like math?
Not really.
It's okay. You like math when it comes to this, because what I need you to do is very potent and will keep you awake and is very magical. Now, are you familiar with the number 1?
Yeah, I use that one the most.
Yeah. Now, what comes after the number 1?
2?
Mm-hmm. Now, I need you to go as high as you can. I need you to count all the stars in the sky. And just to make sure that you got all of them, I need you to do it 3 more times.
I could try.
Because what you are doing is you are connecting all of the stars in the sky with your mind. And that creates a very potent web of magic that will fall over you and protect you.
I'll let you roll deception or persuasion because this is a white lie.
Okay. Both are 1, so I'm going to try to persuade because I love Cal. Advantage. Yikes. 7.
If you maybe just look for flour instead of me.
No. That is not how. I'll tell you what. I'm going to continue riding and we are going to talk. I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now. Tell me about your family. And then he's going to keep trying to race the horse at an extremely fast pace while holding the stone up to his ear to make sure that Cal is.
You mean the sheep?
Tell me about all of them. Start with Flower.
You shouldn't have brought her out here. She's too old.
But you were giving her an adventure.
Oh,
Something to know about old age. If you don't spend a lot of time with elderly beings, they're not able to do the things that they used to do when they were young, and that's all they want to do. So in a way, you have kind of given her her finest dream.
Oh. Okay.
Now, how did you come about, Flower?
He, he was my very first sheep.
Oh,
I wasn't always a shepherd.
what were you before you were a shepherd?
It was a sailor.
A sailor? What did the ship that you were on do?
We checked the coast up and down for shipwrecks and tried to help people.
Hmm. Yeah, just that because you're a nice person like that, and that is something that I respect.
Well,
What? How did you become a shepherd from a sailor?
um, uh, my ship sank.
Were you the captain?
No, no, I was just a sailor.
Did it sink and then you swam away?
No, I don't know how it happened. I just woke up on the beach, and the sisters
Hmm.
found me and took me in.
Now, where the ship that you were on? Where did it set sail from?
Uh, Set sail in the sea of fallen stars, a whole ocean away.
Well, then you traveled quite the distance to end up on this beach here.
Yeah, everybody that lives in the band came from somewhere else.
Um, Ulfsic's going to try to spurn the horse harder to go faster if it's at all possible.
Roll me an animal handling check.
Advantage. Oh.
This horse has had enough, and as you pitch into the side and pinch the flank, squeezing not with spur but with just heel, the horse does what a horse would will in this position. Half-assed but full horse face, it bucks, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
9.
You hit the dirt. You take 4 hit points of damage as it bucks and half kicks you as you roll off into the grass. The horse, though, still fresh, runs back in the opposite direction from whence you came.
Okay, can I gauge how far away I am from based on tracking?
Roll me a perception check. It is now getting darker by the second.
8.
You can see the road. You have a sense of the direction that you're in. You know you're still going south. You know that you were probably, in all likelihood, within the hour. If you don't know the area that well, but you had been the one tracking from the bend up to this direction. So the best of your group would be your knowledge. You're sure that you're within about an hour, but you're not sure if it's 5 minutes or 55 minutes. So
Okay. Let me, based off what I know about the Cormyreans, I want to start tracking them. So unless I can, like, with survival checks for tracking, pick up Cal's, if he in fact urinated at all, or the scent of other Cormyreans.
but the whole time you're doing this, you are trying to like still make best possible time that you can in the direction you were going. Okay. I tell you what, roll me a survival check, and I mean you're gonna get tired here with a full sprint, but not yet. So
Okay. I have advantage on survival checks against humanoids, which these are. So I'll have to burn one for that one. 11. Yikes.
the road in and of itself it's rutted, and so it's difficult to see and discern new fresh tracks from tracks that may be earlier, maybe your own coming in the opposite direction. But you know that you feel that you're going in the right direction as you continue to run along the road, and as you kind of round a turn that has trees right up against the right side kind of blocking, as you round that area, you see a ram cart with one of its wheels off, several arrows in the side of the wood sunk deep with the Cormyrean feathering along the back end. It's cows.
Going to that, trying to pick up any more data that would help me shortcut any sort of fresh tracks in that situation. And then as soon as I get up there, the wrist charm, the carved opal that's on my right hand, I want to bring up to my mouth. Emma, give me the strength to find my friend. Give me the power to help defend him and heal his injuries. It's like a silent prayer to my Emma.
Well, then roll me a religion check.
I'll use advantage on this one for sure. 20. Much better.
22.
Oh, yeah.
There's no answer. There's no divine nature response. There's no shooting stars or anything of that nature. You don't feel any different.
Okay. I'm going to continue foraging for information, believing that even as a placebo, that act will make me more efficient at what I have to do.
Roll me a survival check.
20. Was that a tracking survival check?
Yes.
Yeah.
This isn't for the Cormyreans, but you see that there is blood that is heading off into the woods, the thick woods.
All right, I'm gonna bolt out and follow it.
Okay. Speed or stealth, I'll ask.
How dark is it?
It's inside the forest. It is already night.
Speed.
Okay. Then roll me a Constitution saving throw as you are sprinting through the woods. This is the moment that would be akin to Last of the Mohicans, when Daniel Day-Lewis is heading straight up the hill towards the enemy and the captives. But you are rushing through here.
I'd burn advantage on this. 14.
You are down to 4 advantages, just so you know. So yeah, no exhaustion sets in. I mean, you're definitely heating up. You're definitely moving as you run and jump and head deeper into the woods. Roll me a perception check, please.
14.
Okay, let's do... Does a 16 hit you?
Me. Armor class is a 16.
So, for 9 piercing, as you run around a corner, a knight wearing the purple splash of a purple knight of Cormyr comes around and drives a spear into your side. And as it grabs on one of your ribs, it turns you a bit as he launches this sneak attack on you and prepares to spin the spear and bring it above his head as he is looking to drive it home. I need you to roll some initiative for me, my friend.
That would be fine and good if I was not invisible in the dark.
Oh, you are invisible in the dark?
Gloomstalker.
Okay.
Gloomstalker trait.
Okay. So then it would be disadvantage, correct?
If he knew I was there,
okay.
It would be disadvantage, yeah.
The 16 would still hit because you were running for speed. So he gauged it and threw the spear out and got lucky with a 16 hit. So when it does hit you, though, he turns and now once engaged, the invisibility goes away, correct? Once you're hit
Nope.
once by, or it stays?
So I'm
Fantastic.
invisible in the darkness and also to dark vision. So it's only sound.
Yeah, it's only blind sight that sees you, right?
Blind sight and devil, the warlock one, the devils.
Right, right. Infernal vision, or yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay. So hits, but then looks surprised when there isn't anything to follow up the strike with. Let's roll some initiative to see how we do here.
15.
Okay, 15, and what's your +4? That's definitely more than what he has. You can act first as he drives that in, and we had some things come in, I believe. Let's see, we have an advantage that came in from Staffen, and we had an advantage that came in from Hawkeye, so 2 more for you, taking you up to 6. Thank you, my friends, thank you. As let's go. And so, as the spin happens and the drive happens and the person looks around trying to find and immediately goes into the double-armed grab on the spear and the slow circle looking for a target, but it is your turn to act, my friend.
Can I do I notice in with my dark vision, do I notice anyone else? Is it just him?
Roll a perception check for me.
I had no idea. I have none.
The shadows are alive. It's, in the heat of being struck like that, especially when you considered yourself, invisible. And you are still, the shock has kind of misaligned your perceptions for a moment. You're not sure. There could be, there couldn't be.
All right. So then, where the knight is, I'm going to use a free action to take out both swords and move to what I deem to be his back and unleash hell.
I like it.
He is a favorite enemy, so in total darkness, if I'm obscured and at his back, would that be advantage at all?
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I 5th level. Here's what I'm gonna do. Let me see if I can share this. There we go. So I get my 2 5th level attacks. I have an ambush attack on the first round of combat, and then I have my offhand attack. And I'm gonna swing all 4 of those at him.
Let's do it. Yeah, Unleash Hell is, when you look up Billy in the player's handbook, you will find that Billy's special ability is Unleash Hell. There's some Unearthed Arcana that also has a different subclass, but we like to go with the original Unleash Hell around here. Okay. There's going to be some hits in there, my friend. Anything 18 or higher.
So just the first one and the crit.
Roll some damage for those then.
All right, that is 1d8 plus 6, and then for the crit. So that's 16, 17. Yeah, that's 23.
How do you kill the knight that doesn't see it coming?
So when he approaches from behind, he lands his first strike in the kidney, and as the knight reacts to one side, he takes his blade in his right hand, slashes in the darkness twice and misses, switches his grip on the blade and drives it right down the neck of the knight, and as he falls, takes the swords up and whips the blood off of the blade as he begins to look around for more opponents.
Given a moment now to look around, you can see that no other armored figures exist. You also find kind of loosely applied to a quiver along the outside of this knight, broken shafts of arrows. It looks as if this knight was sent back to collect the Cormyrean feathered ends of the bow to make them unidentifiable.
I'm going to continue down the trail of towards Cal.
Okay. The 10 minutes comes and goes, but you do not feel a buzz. The stone does not vibrate.
Do I smell anything? Do I hear people acting?
Roll me perception check.
Man, the dice are not hot this evening.
They will be when you need them to. No, at this point, when you get further ahead, darkness settles in completely. You can smell a fire, and you can see splashes, puddles of light up ahead, kind of filtering and flickering through the trees. They seem to be staggered. Some of them are much closer to you. Some of them merely glows in the distance, that artificial tree line that all forests gather. But up ahead of you, hunkered down behind a boulder, looking at a knight that is standing with a torch kind of set against the V of a tree behind him, slowly kind of working with his sword. You see a haggard-looking fellow. By all intents and purposes, this person looks more beggar than civilized humanoid, but the person's crouched down and they seem to be eyeing up the knight. But I don't want to take any agency away from our other player. Welcome in, Staffen. Staffen, as Ulfzark comes forward, what does he see?
He sees an elderly human male, emancipated, skin and bone, bedraggled body that somehow still moves, where he's about 5.5 foot tall, wearing a 5-foot beard and various scraps of loincloths. And he's staring almost blindly up into the sky, where if Ulfsark actually had eyes tonight, he might be able to see the 3 owls that are moving about.
Okay. So this seems to be in between you and the next night, Ulfsark. You see this hermit. But it also smells as if this hermit is following the same exact trail that you are for Cal. In fact, he smells a bit like Cal.
Hello.
Oh, you gave me quite the fright there, sneaking up on me like that. You haven't seen Cal, have you, by chance?
I'm looking for him. Do you know where he is?
And yet again, he just stares up into the sky for a few seconds. Well, there's some traces of what I think are his tracks heading over yonder. If my companions are at all to be trusted.
Your companions?
Oh, yeah, Huey, Louie, and Dewey. And he points up into the sky.
You would see the outlines of the owls in the last of the light.
Are you hungry? Do you want something to eat?
They are They are searching. They generally don't eat in this realm.
Well, what about you?
Oh, I
How do you feel about the mushrooms?
Oh, mushrooms are good.
Okay, here, have one of these.
Oh,
Pops up his last.
why, thank you. He says, and he fumbles about a bit and grabs some. Yes, these are good. Oh, I'm so sorry. Perhaps I should introduce myself. It's so rare that I actually get to talk to people. My name is Chumley. I used to be an apprentice of Hallister before the accident.
There's a lot of information there, and I hope to delve into that later, but right now we need to find Cal, if that is okay.
Oh, absolutely. Let us be on our way.
You can call me Ulfsik.
Ulsi, very well. Thank you.
Can you help me find Cal?
Absolutely.
Your friends...
I would do anything for a former shipmate.
Interesting. Have you seen how many knights are down there?
Have Huey, Louie, and Dewey given any sort of... If I pop over and take a look with their perception, can I get a rough count?
Roll me a perception check with them.
Sure. This will be approximate, and then we'll... yes, normally... so that's actually a 12 by the time that they're looking, but still not... it's obviously a foggy night.
It's definitely... You know that there's at least 3 of them out there.
Okay. Yeah, there's more of them than we are.
That is no concern of mine. But if you can find Cal, and if he happens to be injured, can you make him well?
I can try to find him. I don't have any real good way of making him well, unfortunately.
Do you know someone we could take him to? Time is of the utmost essence.
Not really. I'm thinking that it may be that the best we can do is get him back to the village.
That will be the best, but we cannot let these knights know where the village is.
Oh.
I have an idea. And if it fails, I might need you to help me kill them.
Oh. It'll be a pleasure. After all, apart from the roads, the buildings, the security, the soft toilet paper, what have the Cormyreans ever done for us?
I cannot think of anything. Do you trust me?
You're here to help Cal. That means I trust you implicitly.
Do you have anything that can put out their torches? Like a gust of wind, or
not directly. I'm more of a I'm less of a manipulator and more of a creator summoner. So I can have my friends from the Hells come up and run over and grab their torches.
that might be useful. I'm going to try to talk to them. If the conversation fails and you can see it go south because the torches will be lit, can you tell your friends to try to snuff the torches?
Okay.
Excellent. How far are we away from the knights?
The first one that you can see, I tell you what, let's jump on over to And let me bring this up here. Oop. You can see the first splash of light. Oh, about... Well, we're making it a little bit closer here, but you're right now about 40 or 50 feet away, so this conversation can be had in relatively stealthily and without giving away your position. But the first one is there with a torch in the V of the tree behind him.
All right. Well, here, my friend, is what I'm going to do. Based on the brief conversation I've had with him, it will be enough to try to mimic mannerisms, but I'm going to cast Disguise Self for me to look like Bowden.
Okay.
And I'm going to approach the campfire, but I'm going to look like Bowden, but with blood spatters on me, like I've been through some stuff. I'm okay, I'm walking, but there's blood on me and maybe a couple of cuts.
Okay, very good. So, you get closer to the first one. I'll bring you on down here. Oops, not that. Boop, boop. That. Why can't I select? What am I on? That's why. So you come down and enter into the light. Get us over a little bit, everybody, so we can see what's going on here on Roll20. And Wolfsark, as you come down, Chumley, you would see before you where once was this ranger fur-laden figure gives away to the splendor and armor of royalty. So as you walk forward, I believe they get a intelligence save against your spell save DC.
Spell save DC is 13.
Okay, they make these a disadvantage. So with an 11, as you come forward, immediately the sword comes out and points, "Who goes there?" And then, "Master, what's wrong?"
I'm so glad I found you. The camp. Somebody had triggered owlbears. They had strange markings on them, but... What are you doing? I need your help.
We were doing what you told us to do. We were setting the trap.
Well, is it worth it? Did you find anything?
Yes, the old one's down in the wash. We've been hearing him contacting someone, but they must be a good half day's ride out. Did you see anyone? Maybe they got caught in this? Master, what do you want me to do?
I sprinted back with the horse. It's back there somewhere, probably riding back towards camp. I came here with some knights and they were gone. They got taken. Go out into the woods. They must be after me, and the poor princesses. I don't know what happened to her. I haven't seen her in a while.
Roll me a deception check.
I'm gonna use my crit.
Haha, very good. So with the crit used, you get the following information. Princess, what were her orders? I know we were putting on the act for the others, but what did she say? She
didn't say anything. They attacked us and we all scattered. I haven't seen her.
Was she able to kill the half-orc?
They went off? I don't know.
Let's get you to Daniel. He'll know better than I, Master.
No. There were so many. Let us head to Baldur's Gate. Now.
No orders, but the princess, we...
Do what I said!
Yes. Come, we're down this way. We'll kill the old one and then we can go.
There's no time for that. Go.
The horses are all back here.
Take them and go now. Leave your things. Run.
You're going to have to roll me a persuasion here at disadvantage because you're asking a knight to leave a war horse, all of his gear. He's not disobeying, he's just questioning whether or not he shouldn't just tell everybody else that's here that it's time to go as well, his comrades. And so you see that kind of honor tear that's going on.
You can tell them. We all need to leave.
Then come, and begins to lead you down the trail. If you will follow, as picks up the torch, we'll move the torch on down here. And if you follow down with, you get closer and closer, and the further down you get, you notice that another splash of light is appearing off to your right, and you can see that several other guards are there as well. Another two armored knights. Chumley, I'm going to allow you to follow kind of at a danger safe distance back if you want, out of the firelight, but you see the person that had been talking to you turned into this noble, now walking off with one of these knights. And the further along you get, you see that there are two other of these knights that are waiting, and as soon as you all walk up, they both turn and look, and again, this is...
I'm going to be about 120 to 140 feet back, basically using the owls as forward eyes and ears.
Your overwatch are the owls, gotcha. So with Huey and Louie giving you overwatch, 1 second, make sure my music is up. And all right, so as you get closer, are you going into the group of the other two? This will be 3 knights that are going to be within your proximity.
I'm going to feign a limp and try to keep on telling them to go, save yourselves! Feign a limp to gather back to see if they come back for me or if they wait and take my urgency seriously.
Well, the knight will run ahead, but he runs directly over to his buddies that are by the campfire and begins to tell them your story. You can hear it being relayed. The prince is here. Masters here has told us that there's been treachery. The princess, we can't find her. We must head to Baldur's Gate. And they all start looking left and right, but then they kind of look over the shoulder of the first knight to your approaching form. As they move to kind of intercept, they're going to be within visual range here, and they're both going to have to make a saving throw very soon. Are you going to try to continue with the ruse?
Absolutely. If it'll save people from dying.
Okay, so 2 rolls. They are at disadvantage because you are someone they know, and it's the dark, and they kind of expected something like this without going into too much detail. So they want to believe you, but again, your DC is a 13, correct?
Yeah, it's not great.
First one fails. Second one fails by 1. So they come forward. Master, what are your orders? We have the one. He's drug out. He's bleeding. We think he died about 20 minutes ago. Do you want us to check?
This is pointless. This concerns none of us now. We were besieged. We were beset upon by... everyone scattered. I sprinted down here on a horse, and the horse bucked me off. God damn it, I should have taken more riding lessons. I suck at everything. I'm such a bad person. I suck. And then just go. We need to... I told them to reconvene at Baldur's Gate.
Let's speak to Daniel. Daniel, get us ready. Get you a new horse. We have an extra.
How long will it take?
Moments. We'll make sure he's dead, and then we'll be off. Moments.
That's superfluous. You don't need to. We have to leave.
We can't.
They're after me now.
The princess told us to make sure he was dead. It will take but a moment.
The princess may not even be alive anymore.
Her orders are still valid. It will take but a moment. Master, let us get you something. And they begin to comfort you, moving towards you as you're limping, but they're directing you further down along the trail where you can see a brighter campfire.
Do you have any food? Sorry, I'm out of my mind here. Can I get you something to eat or drink, or something that'll help us along the way?
We have water. We have, and one of the knights kind of nudges another. We have whiskey as well. Water or whiskey. We have rations at camp. Just tell us how can we help you, Master?
Hey, come here. Can we share a drink for a moment?
Of course.
Can I have some of the whatever you have? Water?
Yes. Hands it to you.
Takes a swig. I was cooking tea, and you guys, you serve me so well.
Thank you, Master.
And I know that you're very loyal to the princess, and I love her so very much. I was making tea when it all happened, and I have a little bit of tea left. Would you like some?
Roll a persuasion check.
I'm gonna use advantage on this one. 9.
Master, perhaps we could just drink from the skins. We don't want to waste any more time. If we are to be at Baldur's Gate to meet with the princess, I would feel better doing that.
Yeah, I would feel better if we could get on the same page and sit down and have a breath and some enjoyment. Because in the event that it is our last one, I want my last memory to be one of companionship.
Yes, do you want us to send someone ahead for Daniel?
To Baldur's Gate?
Daniel's just 150 feet down the road.
You don't.
He's by the old one. He's getting ready to cook his sheep.
That is nothing like some good. What's the meat and sheep called? Mutton?
Yes.
Yeah. That was a joke I made. Yeah.
It's an old sheep, but should have a little meat on it. Perhaps we'll all get a piece. Fair portion.
Right. So no tea then?
No, sir. Whiskey and water. We're here for you. Whatever you will, but we'll start. And they start kind of like kicking dirt onto their fire to put it out.
Yeah, it is time to move. It is time to move on. Oh, the things that it's bad. I saw several of your brothers sliced in twain before my eyes. An owlbear, of all things in these parts, it just seems very unusual. And I'm not one for this kind of thing, I'm all talk.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Master. We're all good at different things.
Yeah, I guess so. And where's Daniel? I'll talk to him. You head on your way. I'm calm now. I can.
We all have to return to get to the horses, so we can walk with you.
Is just Daniel by the horses? By himself? What's he doing by himself by the horses?
He's down there with Francis. That's the main camp. We were told for the trap. Someone was going to come, and we were to warn them, and the trap was set.
Oh, the trap for the old man you're talking about killing?
No. one of them was supposed to come. We were told that one of them was on their way. I'm sure they were probably caught up in the owlbear attack.
Yeah, no, we, listen, the top priority now, whatever, the old man's gonna die, we don't have to, that's a waste of energy. There's too many for this trap as is. I talked to those people, they're weak. I should have assessed the situation. This is why we get into arguments, the princess and I, so...
The princess seemed to think they were quite formidable.
Well, she's been wrong about a lot of things.
Yeah. Not really.
So, okay. Listen.
It's at that moment that they kick and the campfire goes out.
And there's 2 of them in this?
3.
There's 3? Okay. So I don't suppose we can just head to Baldur's Gate then?
Yes, of course, Master. We'll go down and talk to Daniel. We'll kill the old one. Maybe have some mutton. And we can eat on the road if it makes you feel better. We're ready. We have in our armor. We haven't unsaddled. It's just a scout camp. We can break it in no time.
I know we have orders, but I really want to get to Baldur's Gate now. Let me assure you that everything is solved. All we need to worry about is going to Baldur's Gate. Do you understand?
Yes, of course, Master. We'll meet the princess there. All we have to do is get to our horses. You need one. We brought fresh rides. We're fine.
We can stop at a village on the way. We have to walk to Baldur's Gate now. Do you understand?
Speaking of horses.
Yes.
Huey will have extended his circling a while to try to pick up if he can see where the horses are picked in.
Yep, no problem there. It's off to the side of the camp, as knights would, away from any potential fighting.
And as the conversation is getting that little bit more heated, the horses are going to find that they have persistent problems with horseflies. So I'm basically going to start casting infestations on them, just randomly between them.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so of the... We'll just double those up for each one because they have 10 total. So you get a good half of them are starting to, as they... There's whinnies that are coming from that area, but nothing that would sound like wolf attack or anything like that. But you're definitely doing damage to them. Because this is also causing poison damage, correct?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, they're not happy, and they're picketed, so they can't get away. So as this continues to infest, we'll go back up to the now doused campfire. But as soon as you say something, Wolfsick, you hear one of the most talkative say, "What village?"
I don't know. I'm sure there's something small with people who farm or some shit. I don't know. This isn't my thing, but we stop there and rest. Do you understand?
I need you to roll deception or persuasion here.
Deception at advantage. 17.
Yes, of course, sir. To a village, to Baldur's Gate, as long as we meet up with the princess, that's fine. Yes.
Let's run. We can at least have a brisk jog if you're out of shape and haven't been keeping up with your conditioning. Let us go.
I've been very conditioned.
Then prove it.
They start moving down. I'll use the torch to guide our way here, but it's not really there. They are heading due south towards the last splash of light, which is presumably the other camp. Are you allowing them to get all the way to the other camp?
And there are supposedly other knights in this camp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
All right. So as everyone gets down, you see another knight. This one larger as far as pauldrons and things like that go. Definitely has more of the ornamentation across the armor depicting a higher rank. And as soon as you all get in, rushing into the area of the firelight, they are going to be required to roll some additional. Let's go right there. So let me see, where is. And we have a 13, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And one more. Master, what are you doing here? As the larger one steps forward.
I'm fucking exhausted. Will one of you fill him in? I can't tell the story 3 goddamn times.
He was and then this is the story that they give. He came in and said that his horse kicked him off and fuck it, and that there was also an attack of owlbears, and that there was blood, and a lot of us have dead, and the princess might be gone, and pauses at that point.
And we need to leave. Do you understand? I do not think the princess is even alive anymore. I saw several of their brothers. I'm getting worked up. Look at me. I'm getting worked up again. We have to run to Baldur's Gate. I yelled out, meet in Baldur's Gate if you get separated, and we need to meet there in Baldur's Gate. Do you understand?
Yes, Master, but I can assure you the princess is still alive. For if she wasn't, I would not be here.
How?
Roll persuasion check.
Advantage. Thanks, Legion. 12.
What was the last city we were in? And he steps back from the fire.
For fuck's sake, something up north. You expect me to remember these things? I'm too important.
I do.
I'm on my honeymoon, for God's sake.
You complained about it quite a bit.
I complain about a lot of things. Do you not see the severity of the situation?
What's the name of your deceased father-in-law?
Are you quizzing me right now?
Yes, I am.
How insolent of you! What do you think will happen when I tell the princess that you didn't believe me when I was telling us to run for our lives? I'm concerned for your well-being here, and that I need people to protect me. Okay? Does that make sense? I need help.
What makes the most sense here is you seem to think that you are on equal footing with the princess. And that, in and of itself, speaks to a very dissimilar mindset than the one Prince Bowden should have. For he, above all others, is a slave. They all reach for their swords.
He looks at them, postures up. We all have roles to play, and then calls out for Hollister?
That works.
Yeah.
And then in the briefest of moments, I'm assuming there's still like a torch, there's still a campfire lit.
There's a huge blazing campfire here.
I would have hoped for your sake that this would have gone differently. And then he will cast...
Just as you are about to cast something,
Mhm.
a gust of wind blows from the north, but not just north, from the far north, as a cold, frigid gale from the spine of the world enters and passes down this far, and with it carries the words that touch your ears and your ears alone. Your grandmother is with you. And the bonfire goes out. Roll some initiative for me.
All right. How fortuitous. 20.
It's for them. This is for him. Where are you? Where are you, damn it? I have 2.
Oh. I think you go before me, though.
Yeah, so our heroes will go, the knights will go, and then the commander will go. As Billy, what do you want to do, buddy? As the wind blows out, your prayer earlier answered.
And also, he like his fingers by his face, undulating, snaps his fingers and casts silence.
And
so
is that, what is that, a 20-foot? So in a 20-foot radius, they can neither see nor hear anything.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, I like to take a time out every once in a while when somebody shows you how to make a kill box in Dungeons and Dragons. You are witnessing a kill box in Dungeons and Dragons. Class is in session. My friend, you're up first. What do you want to do? You cast silence. I'm going to give you the silence before. That'll be your reactionary. There's a moment where what's going on, as all of a sudden the bonfire is cast out. I'll allow you to cast silence and then do whatever you'd like to do right now.
All right, so there's 3 knights and then the big guy and then another guy, so 5 total.
There's 5 total, correct. It looks like there's 4 knights and then the big guy.
All right. I'm going to use the ambush trait, try to maneuver in the best way around all of these confused, bewildered knights with my blind sight, and then get to the back of the large fellow and unleash 4 attacks against him.
Okay, there we go. All right, 4 attacks against the big guy. Go right ahead. That's 3 hits.
Okay. Okay, that is all right.
Oh, I love it. Couldn't love it anymore. Tell me how you blister these 3 attacks into a heavily armored, plate-mailed knight. And this knight seems to have, when you're attacking, this is fine armor. This is very high quality.
He's going to find the path of least resistance in his whole body, knowing he's got the time and the opponent has low reaction time. He's going to first test the awareness of this knight by thrusting and missing, and the fact that he does not move has him back up, and in what would seem like a dance with 2 long swords, have the first long sword pierce underneath the chest, the lower part of the chest piece, so into the kidney area, pull it out, drive one into an open spot in the right leg, pull that out, and then rise up from above and shove the sword down into the trapped neck area of the knight.
And in absolute gladiatorial execution type of move as you drive it between Pauldron, and you feel it kind of slip. If it hadn't been for the chain of the coif just going down beneath, it slips and goes down from the back as he shakes you free, and your blade comes out. You're able to extract it. You are then standing there. Is there anything else you would like to do as you have had your action? Do you have a bonus or anything else you want to?
The bonus was the offhand attack was the fourth attack.
Okay.
And then so the third attack. Sorry, I forgot to do this last time with the ambush attack. I get an additional 1d8 damage.
Yeah, do it. Yep. You declared that earlier, so.
So one of those attacks gets 4 additional damage.
So with almost in silence, there's no clanging of sword into armor, no screams of surprise, no gasps. It's silent. There's more pressure than anything else. As the blood of the knight hits you, it makes no sound, but you can feel as it kind of drops onto your side. Nothing makes a sound, and the eyes of all of these knights are wide in terror as they are in darkness. They cannot see you, and they cannot hear.
And then so did
or
that,
they can't yell out to each other, I should say.
They did that. Is then that the big guy still standing?
The big guy's still standing, yeah, but he is blood coming from every vital area that you found. All the slippage between the plates, you were able to land significant blows on this guy.
So since all of this was in close proximity, with the rest of my movement, I want to move outside of the silence box, or like as far like 15 20 feet away from them, and just 15 feet away, 10 feet away, so I can still see them in the pitch darkness, but be outside of any sort of immediate move.
Okay, as you're going further to the south as you do so, you pull back 10 feet and kind of get behind a rock. You can still see them in the silence, just their forms kind of moving about. No clanging of metal still. But right at the back of your heels is a dry riverbed.
Okay.
Okay, Staffen, you see this go down. What would you like to do as they're clumped together? And there's a kill box.
There's a kill box. I have oversight with 3 flying creatures with dark vision.
There you go. Yeah, you have your Overwatch is on. You're good.
So I think that I am merely going to hoarsely scream out, "Bring out your dead!" and do a toll the dead into the big guy from whichever of the 3 owls are nearest.
Very good, very good. And what's the saving throw for that one?
In this case, it's a Wisdom 14.
He just hits it with a 14. Is it half damage for that, or it's no damage? I always forget. I always get those confused whenever
I think it's half.
It takes the spell's damage. I don't think it does. No.
Right.
So while the bells do go off,
no, it's the silence saves them.
yeah, it's more in the mind, but it's quickly kind of shrugged off. Is there anything else that Chumley would like to do as?
No, that basically covers him for this round.
Okay, so it is the knight's turn, and they immediately break in. They're not sure how far the silence goes, but they circle up around their captain, all facing in opposite directions. They do not attack, nor does he. They are all staring. He's slumped over behind there, trying to, assess the wounds that Ulfsik gave him. But the rest of them are staring with spear and sword out into the gloom. It's back up to the top of the round.
So are they huddled close together?
They are.
Smart of them. So I'm going to charge into the big feller and do 3 more attacks.
Let's do it. Last one hits.
Eight damage. So he charges in, clinks off some armor, and then catches purchase in the hip of the same leg that he had injured before with the long sword, and then backs up 10 feet.
Okay, as you back up, they all are swinging wildly that are in the area. So 3 of them are going to take strikes of opportunity at disadvantage against you. Miss. A 20 is going to hit, and he's going to swing as well. 10 will miss, but the hit, that'll just be 4. They rolled it for the, so it's just 4 piercing as somebody catches something, and you can see them trying to yell out. You know, you can even read their lips. You know, they wanted to yell out, "I got it, I touched him," but it cannot be heard.
Awesome.
Staffin, that's over to you, my friend.
Okay. Well, somewhat suboptimally, of course, I'm stuck in concentration with a flock of familiars.
Right.
But I think this looks like we've gotten the big guy down close enough that we can deal with the rest. So what I'm going to do is cast Summon Lesser Demons out on the opposite side of the group to Ulfi.
Okay.
And that will essentially swap out the owls for the demons.
Okay. So as your owls go away, your demons come rushing in, looking much like bastardized Frankensteinian versions of the minions. As they run in, what would you have them do as they enter the fray?
They're basically autonomous in that they'll attack whatever happens to be nearest. I'm not in control.
Okay, I tell you what. Roll me a straight D20. We're going to figure out what they're going to do. Okay, so with a 7, they see the very first person that is closest to them, that is not one of them, and they run and dogpile this person. So I'm going to have them make a dex saving throw, or strength saving throw, I should. As they get drawn beneath, all of a sudden, there's just little demons yanking and pulling at purple armor, pulling at the feather on the helmet, and you can't hear them because they're silent, but they go from like, as soon as they hit the area, it's, and then they're in there, and they're looking at one another and pointing to their mouths and laughing, but you can't hear anything as they kind of pull it like mustache and stuff, tearing big chunks of beard out as the guy's screaming. But since everybody is facing away in a defensive, they don't know that this guy's on the ground yet, as has the absolute shit being torn out of him by these demons. The rest of them are going to maintain. They got to maintain. They can't. How long does silence last? Because I think it's way too long for a fight. Let me see.
Probably. And I like to think that at least one of them is essentially a white fluffy bunny rabbit with huge teeth.
Let's see. No sound can be created within a pass a 20-foot radius. Any creatures include a verbal component that is impossible there, but it doesn't say the duration. That's crazy. Casting times 1 action. Okay. Anybody in chat know that? What the duration of silence? I'm going to go for a minute. The hell with it.
The spell, it says up to 10 minutes.
I'm going to go with 10 minutes. How's that say? Let's see. Every time somebody mentions something that's 10 minutes in D&D, I always think of Top Gun. This thing's going to be over in 4. Fix it. Whenever the catapult gets busted. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Greg, you're old. Shut up. All right. So as they all kind of huddle and are waiting for something to happen, not knowing that one of their number is already being dogpiled, I'm going to take it back up to Wolfstick. They're going to do something in the next round, because if they keep getting picked off, Knights will do something. But what do you want to do?
I'm going to go after the big feller again with 3 attacks.
Let's do it. Two hits, my friend.
Does the 22 not?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the 22 hits too. I'm absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. 11, 9, 7.
How do you kill Daniel?
So, being that he's been attacking his right leg this whole time, he'll do one left-handed strike towards the right leg, right in the hip, and so he doubles over, and then he'll, with his other arm, attack the right knee, so it brings him down to the ground, and then he'll cross his left hand across his body and swing broadly right at the gap where his helmet meets his pauldrons, and aim to sever his head from his body.
Roll a perception check as you do so.
9.
Much like Vader when he swings at Obi-Wan, you get that kill strike as you feel all of the purchase with each attack, but as you swing, the armor drops empty. Clunk, clunk, clunk. Or it would if it wasn't in silenced, but it drops to the ground. No body, no head, no bones, nothing.
And then again, after he takes his turn, he backs up back into like a 10-foot.
Since one is being attacked, I'm only going to take one disadvantaged swing with the other. That's a natural 1. Swings wildly. Chumley, you see one of them gone. And then, let me see. Why give me full access to things? I hate that. There we go. Boom. You see the other 3. One of them is dogpiled by your demons. 3 are still upright, but the largest of the remaining ones is down. What would you like to do, though, my friend? We can't hear you, bud.
I'm not only going dim with eyes and old, also apparently going mute. Chumley, having now essentially lost his oversight, and he's looking into this hemiglobe of darkness with sort of the camp torches, is going to do a double move cautiously to get up to within about 30 feet of the darkness, so probably sort of there-ish.
Okay.
And that's basically, and when he gets there, he's going to cast his mage hand.
And what are you gonna be handy about?
He'll run out of time for it at that point, but his intent is to go and find either a burning ember or one of the torches, and just let the mage hand provide a little bit of light for him to see, and for everybody to for the rest of them to appreciate the demonic influx.
Okay. All right. Well, I tell you what, I will allow you then to pick up maybe a tossed ember that's not a lot, on the ground, but when held aloft by a translucent hand, it's just enough to cast the spookiest of visages, especially when one of your buddies that you're just sharing whiskey with is being dogpiled by demons. It's usually off-putting. And so, do you have anything else? You double moved and then mage hand to illuminate the area. With their turn, they begin to move away back to back to back at best possible speed. And as soon as they get out of the area of silence, I can hear, let's get the fuck out of here. As they begin to move in the direction that you would know, Chumley, is the, well, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, all dead horses, because they had several rounds of getting absolutely schnockered by infestation, and horses don't have that many hit points, and you're doing like 7 at a clip. So, a couple of them kicked and got away, but for the most part, they are running towards nothing. You all see the retreat in full bloom. Do you allow it? Do you pursue? It's back to the top of the round for Wolfstick.
In what direction are they fleeing? To the horses?
They're fleeing to the horses. So if you came from the north, you're at the dry bed to the south. They're heading to the west.
And there's 2 left?
3.
3 left. Okay. The west is towards the coast, correct?
Correct. Yep.
And the riverbed is southeast, north?
Right at the back of your heels.
And the back of my heels is west?
South. It's to the south. Yeah. Running east to west.
Well, I can track them. Fuck. All right. I'm going to go to the riverbed and search for Cal.
Roll me perception check. It's dark. You can't see the bottom of the bed.
No smells of urine.
It's kind of, I don't want to say it's prevalent, but you can hear, you can smell, you just can't see or locate.
I do have 60 feet of dark vision with Gloomstalker subclass. So I can see in dark, in dimness, fairly well. I just wanted to see if I could take anything I would normally use to perceive and put into tracking instead, because that just is much better.
Yeah, roll me a survival. Because I mean, you're going to be able to find whatever's down there. It's just more, how long does it take?
Yeah. Since he's a humanoid and I'm tracking Cal, it would be a 19.
It takes you a second, but you see where there is washed out rock and dry wood kind of collected at various what probably would be, choke points when the water flows from the top of the mountain, from the Jasper Range. You see a small figure clumped, kind of slumped over against a rock.
I'm going to run over to him and immediately start assessing to see if he's got any vital signs.
Roll me a medicine check.
Burn an advantage. Well, before the episode started, you said I had one thing from another episode that I didn't. Can I use that?
How do you do it? Yes, you can.
I want to. I know this is not something you can forcefully do, but he's been keeping a boom shroom in the back of his pants, and the second he sees that there's nothing, that he's not responding to anything, he wants to brush his forehead with his hand, grab the back of his skull, kind of lean his skull back, opening his mouth, and mimic chewing, so the liquid of the boom shroom goes into his body and hopefully awakens him as he's trying to keep him calm.
Chumley, you get to the lip of the dry riverbed too, and with your glowing mage hand with a coal, you can see that as the regular light and not the dark vision illuminates the area, that Cal's body is very, very pale. And Wolfsick is performing some type of, you can see that it's one of the mushrooms that he gave you before, and he's put it into Cal's mouth. There are 2 rolls that I'm going to need from you here, Billy, and you have something to use. I think we're at 26 retweets too. If we had a few more, I'll give a few seconds to see if something might pop up, but I'm going to need a religion check, and I'm going to need that medicine check.
And I'll interject real quick with an idea.
Absolutely.
Which is that Chumley is going to take a gnarled and dirty finger, stick it up his nose, and slowly draw out a tendril of wispy air, and go over and very tenderly just lie it on the forehead of Cal. And it's an encode thoughts with him just saying, Cal, come back. It is okay. It is safe here. We have come for you and you are safe. So essentially trying to give him advantage on his rolls.
I love it. I won't give advantage, but I will give a D8 of inspiration because that's hella awesome. It's really good.
All right, so first one is religion, right?
First one is religion.
Can I use one of my advantages on that?
You can. You do have your other thing too. You just pick which you want to use it on.
The religion and the medicine?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well,
you have 2 natural 20s to use. We just hit 30 retweets.
I'm gonna burn them both on this.
What's the prayer?
Dear Emma, I know that you don't do this very often or at all, and you know me well enough to know that I wouldn't ask for this unless I absolutely needed it. But this man has done nothing but good, and got caught up in the vile evil of horrible men and their schemes to something darker, something that threatens everything you want to happen. So please, you know I will be loyal to you forever. Help me. Help me save him.
What do you give?
What do I have? I have given everything.
Not yet.
There's so much I want to ask you that I haven't been able to talk to you since I have been here. But is everything I have done for you not enough?
It is. But my power is weak.
Is there someone nearby that I could take to give some to you?
Yeah.
How we operate, you let me know when and where, and I can give you the power.
Without question.
is how it has always been.
I need to hear you say it.
I've never not done it. I have been loyal to you. And now you're making me. I understand, but I will, without question, help you as you have helped me, my Emma.
Is he worth it?
Do you remember at all the conversation we have had about love? Love is to be given freely. And this man has done nothing but give love. He is the most worth it.
A deal, my love. Where's Flower?
We'll find her.
I'm so cold. You found me.
I did. I told you I would.
You did, and you did.
Now come on, get up. Let us go get you some help.
You think I can stand up?
That's okay. I got you. I got you. Hold your breath. And then he's gonna bury his arms underneath his body after getting all the leaves and sticks off of him. Lift him up. Okay. I will carry you. Hello, friend. Do we have any horses left?
You would know too, real quick, Chumley, when you pick up Cal from the riverbed, there is one Cormyrean arrow with the feathered shaft still in place beneath him. It seems to be the one that struck him.
We will carefully take that. I don't think there are any horses left.
Can you carry him?
Briefly, but I think we should seek a brief shelter. And he's
there is something I must do. I am sorry for interrupting your speech, but I cannot let those people that fled live.
Oh, they're dying at quite the rate.
I'm going to make sure they need to be silent. The only way I can silence them is with death.
Quick question, Mr. GM, sir.
Are you sending the demons after them? Is that what I'm...
Basically, I'm assuming that the demons are running off after them and possibly getting sidetracked by whatever horses remained. But do I have a sense that that there's at least one demon left on the basis that I would get the concentration back once they get slaughtered?
Right. Yes, you would, as soon as, because you would no longer be concentrating on a spell that was binding anybody. So you would feel that come online maybe 2 or 3 minutes after Cal woke up.
Okay.
A long time for a fight.
Mm-hmm. I cannot, unfortunately, be certain that we got all the knights. Something
Take him.
Killed the last demon, but it was some while after they started running.
His eyes get more and more intense. Please take Kale to safety.
He will take Kale in his... Actually, I need 6 seconds. and he's going to untwist a piece of rope from around his waist, which unfortunately also drops what remains of his truce, but not that he realizes. And he's going to cast rope trick.
And get you all up in there?
We will be safe for at least an hour in here. Just pull the rope if you want to get in. And he'll shimmy up with Cal on his back.
Thank you, friend. And Ulsik's going to try to find the trail of the 3 knights that have scattered.
You do, and it's an easy trail without a roll, because you find a body by the campfire, another about 200 yards from the camp, another about a quarter of a mile from that area. And you can see that a wounded figure is moving ahead. You can tell they're kind of dragging a leg.
Can I recognize the wounded character?
It's one of the knights. As soon as the moonlight catches the purple, you can see the glint.
I would like to stealthily try to catch pace with him and walk up beside him as if not necessarily a threat, but like to walk with him.
Roll stealth to see how close you can get. Again, this is with advantage because you're in fucking visible, but it's that dry. It's been a dry summer. There's a crack as the twig goes off, and the knight turns around. A claw mark had taken his left eye. Who's there? Who's there? You have no honor. Sickened demons on us.
Ulsik will appear before him. Shh, 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 shh. Calm now. I'm not here to hurt you. Have you come here for forgiveness? Have you come to raise the dead? Have you come to play Ilmater to the lepers in your head? Did I ask too much? More than a lot? You gave me nothing. Now it's all I've got. We are one. But we're not the same. Will we hurt each other, then we do it again. You say love is a temple. Love a higher law. Love is a temple. Love the higher law. You ask me to enter. But then you make me crawl. And then he'll unsheath both long swords and gaze at him menacingly.
He drops the sword and starts to run as fast as he can, but the leg is giving. You can hear something cracking through the armor as he is utterly terrified.
And I'm going to sprint up behind him, and then his strong leg is, as I charge, I'm going to make a strike at his strong leg. If we can do called shots.
You can do whatever you want after quoting you too, buddy.
All right. All right. So I'll burn an advantage on this attack. 16.
That'll take him.
And then as he falls down to the ground, take the sword in the other hand and drive it down the length of his torso. Jerk it. Pull it out.
He drops to the ground.
And then I want to sheath my swords, grab him by the ankle, and drag him off of the trail, deep into the woods. With the rest of the knights, if there's time to be had here, I want to throw them all into the riverbed. Take the things they don't need. Try to, as a gift for a friend, take the very nice fine armor off of the guy who disappeared, the fella who disappeared, and then meet back up with Hollister in the rope trick.
As you are kind of hiding the last of them, you see something approaching in the darkness. It's small, has something tied around its neck. It looks like twine or a leather strap, and it's dragging a little stake that must have been pulled out of the earth. And as the moon gives you just a glimpse, you see as Flower walks up to you and sniffs the fallen bodies, and with ancient teeth for a sheep, bites the cheek of one of the downed knights, and then sniffs and looks up in your direction.
Oh, hello, Flower. How are you doing? Are you hungry? Do you want something to eat?
That's too good. That's where we end this session of the Realms Remembered. So what we'll do, my friend, is we will start up and figure out where you want to go. You are very close to the bend. Love it. Loved everything about that. Nice stuff. Let's go around and talk to everybody. All two of the players who did just a fantastic job of RPing this little scenario and saving Cal Finnegan along with the Legion with the retweets aplenty and the power of the collective narrative. Let's go to Billy first. Billy, my friend, how are you? Where can we find you online? And I agree with Staffen Masterclass. When you are able to work in the lyrics, you know I'm a sucker for it.
Honestly, brother, you know, when you're listening to a song, just a radio, like I'm not one of the people who just like listens to their phone. Like I want to know what's out there. And as soon as I left work, this is like divine timing. As soon as I left work, this local like punk radio station has like 5:30, I think is when I left, has like a cover. Like it's a 102.5 in Columbus, Ohio. They have like a cover of the day that happens at 5:30, and it was Johnny Cash's cover of One by U2, and the lyrics just echoed in my existence, and I'm like, I'm using this. So like I got home, ran back here, like copy pasted the lyrics onto my data sheet, and like you got to find a time for this one, and it was just. I'm glad that you made somebody still alive so that I could like recite this to them. But this was an amazing episode. Staffen, thank you so much for contributing and putting your creative juices and aptitude for terror into this this was great. I loved every second of this. If you want to follow me on the internet, you can find me at Twitter at Bill of the Forest. You could follow me or not, I do not give a fuck. Mondays Mondays I'm here. Tuesdays, very shortly, I will be with Greg doing a Simba Room campaign on WebDM. And then Wednesday nights, I do Witcher campaign back on Tales from the Grim. Feel free to check me out. If you don't like me, that's cool. I'll love you all the same. Oh man, this was awesome. Yeah, I can't talk anymore. Go ahead.
Love you, buddy. Love Wolfsick. I love Chumley. Staffen, thank you so much for being here. Added the perfect, almost like the Legion entering into the narrative and then proving to be that Greek witness that as the tale unfolds, adding in the elements, the demons. It was very, very Greek there for a bit, and I loved it, every bit of it. Where can we find you online, my friend?
First of all, I just have to say thank you so much to the pair of you for letting me interject my own little brand of chaos into Allsark space tonight. But it's been an absolutely mind-blowingly incredible experience to sit in that kind of masterclass. These days, my Twitter handle is RQStuffHunt, but everywhere else, I'm still StuffHuntTJ. I can generally be found out in the Legion, here or in other various channels. But all I can say is please keep doing the good stuff. We love it.
Oh, you're the best, my friend. You're the absolute best. Thank you so much. And with a legion like this behind us, it is extremely easy because tales told collectively are the very best kind. And we talked about it before, Staffin, but you know, Chumley's now part of the narrative, as is Tuatha, as is all the other people that we've had come in. And so the crazy old former apprentice with a 5-foot beard is here in the area, and when needed, I am very sure that with rope trick, horse flies, and demons aplenty, we can count on his whiskers. I guess that's what we'll go with. We'll go with whiskers. Awesome. Everybody, as for me, I'm Grimjack21502 on the Twitter, part of the Tales from the Grim team here on the Twitch. All the love for not only the 2 players that you see on either side of me right now, but all the players from this game as just the best. I could see in chat, you know, we have James and we have Roberts in there giving us their all. We'll be back next week to continue the tale of the Realms Remembered with this and a very important chapter, setting very important things into play. A lot of information Ulfsic was able to obtain about the princess especially, which upon return could change a lot of things. But I loved it very much. As for the channel, Billy's already mentioned most of it. We do have our Road to Desperation finale coming up here in about 40 minutes, where Other Doc, Marshall Jim, is going to take us through the culmination of a fantastic Savage World Deadlands campaign that I have had an absolute, just a pleasure playing in that system setting story with an incredible GM. Just great. On Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, we have our Watchman tale that's powered by Blades in the Dark, followed, of course, by The Witcher at 8, Family of Wraiths. And then our second episode of Call of Cthulhu Bioshock is Friday afternoon at 1 p.m. to 3. Great, another fun cast filled with Legion aplenty. And join us over on Discord, everybody, if you can't join us live. So many kind, wonderful folks there. Just a lot of fun to be had, a lot of community to be built, a lot of family to be made and found, and we would like you to visit whenever you can, whether you're watching on YouTube or on the VOD. The links are down below, everyone. But I had a blast. Absolutely fantastic to all involved here. I can't wait to see where the story goes. But until next time, my friends, as the campfire goes down, there's only one thing left to say. Can't always roll nat 20s. You can always role play, especially with the Legion. Thank you all.